So what if I told you there is a way that you could save a lot of your hard-earned money plus avoid clutter all in one go? There is one easy way that I do that, and that is that I avoid buying certain items in the first place. There is no better way to save both money, time, and clutter than that. Now, before you run away thinking that I'm going to tell you that you should only ever buy the things that you absolutely need for survival, that is not true at all. I still make loads of fun purchases like travel, fun clothing, hobbies, things like that. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't buy some things that you enjoy, but there are some things that actually don't bring me all that much joy and cost a lot of money and clutter that I just avoid in the first place. So I'm going to share those with you. Before I share these items, I just want to note that of course everyone is different, so I'm not saying that you should avoid the things that I avoid. Maybe you really love those things, and you probably have a few things you'd add to your own list that aren't on my list, and that's totally fine. This is just to spark some ideas for you. I don't buy things just because I have a coupon or just because they're on sale. I actually used to be very guilty of these. Back 10, 12 years ago in my couponing days, I would buy stuff just because it was ridiculously cheap. But then I had this huge stash, especially of like toiletry products like shampoo, deodorant, stuff like that. And some of it I didn't even like. So I was forcing myself to use products that weren't my favorite, building up a huge stash. And so now I only buy the things on sale or with a coupon that I would want anyway. I used to buy a lot of bulk foods from like Sam's Club and Costco because I thought, well, that saves you money, right? They're in bulk. Well, two things. First of all, you got to price compare. It doesn't automatically save you money just because you buy them in bulk from a bulk store. Also, it takes our family too long to go through them. We only have 4 people in our family. We don't eat a lot. If it's going to take me more than 3 months to go through it, I'm not going to buy it. I don't want 6-month, year, 2-year supply going on. So I avoid most of those foods. It has been months since I have purchased new pens. And that is just because although I love pens, I have enough. So we called it. And I'm done buying them. I have literally resisted buying stuff in the pin aisle at Target now for over a year. It's no secret that while I love organizing, I absolutely hate cleaning. They are two totally different things. And I used to be the person that would buy every new cleaning product and spray and gadget that promised to make your life better because I wanted cleaning to be easier. Then I realized, there's no product you can buy that will just clean your whole house by itself. You still have to do the work. And so now I have minimized and I only have a few of the cleaning products that I like and I'm not wasting my time or money trying new ones all the time. This isn't something I've stopped buying. I actually never bought this, and this is cable TV. It costs quite a bit of money, and actually 98% of the channels I would never watch anyway, and I have to do it on their schedule, not necessarily my schedule. So instead I use far cheaper internet subscription services. There's Hulu, Netflix, Discovery TV is my favorite. It's only like $8 or $9 a month, things like that. And that way I'm getting the channels that I actually want to watch for far less money. For pretty much my entire life, I have had fairly long, straight hair. And it stands to reason when you have one thing, you want something else. So I always admired those beautiful curly hairstyles and thought I might be a person who curled my hair. But here's the thing, my hair is very thick, very long, very straight, very smooth. It does not hold curl. If I want the curl to stay in, after spending an hour with the curling products, dumping half a bottle of mousse and half a bottle of hairspray in my hair, then I can get it to stay kind of fake and rigid, but I can get it to stay for a few hours. And so what would happen is every year or so I would get on this kick, I'm going to start curling my hair. I would buy new products, new gadgets even, and I would do it once or twice, and then I wouldn't touch it for a year, and then I would go buy stuff again. I've stopped kidding myself. I'm just not going to be a person who has curly hair, and that's okay. I enjoy looking through good magazines. I think it's fun, but I've stopped subscribing to them because we already have enough paper in our home. They just come and they start piling up. I found that when I'm at home, I rarely sit down and look through a magazine. If I'm gonna do it, it's more likely out somewhere, like at a doctor's office when I'm waiting. There's tons of ideas online, and my local library even have tons of magazines if you're wanting to look through those. So I just stopped those. Saves money and clutter. I really enjoy going to yard sales or garage sales, rummage sales, whatever you call them, and shopping around. But what would end up happening is, the stuff there is pretty cheap. You're already conditioned to think it's going to be a good deal. And I have this weird thing in my mind. I think this is very normal, where I think that if I went out for 2 or 3 hours at garage sales and I bought nothing, that I just wasted my time. So you almost feel this compulsion to buy something to make it worth your time. And then I would end up with junk that I didn't need, that I would keep for a year and then pass on and donate. And so I've stopped really buying stuff at garage sales. Like anyone, I love getting stuff in the mail, like real stuff, not like junk mail, but like packages with stuff. And there's tons of subscription services out there. And so I used to subscribe to those makeup subscriptions. I remember Ipsy was very popular. I don't remember the others because who doesn't want to try new stuff and new makeup? But here's the deal. I have very specific skin, very specific makeup that I need to use. And I probably only tried even 30% of the stuff. Some of it I was afraid of. The foundation wasn't my color. How could I really use it anyway? And even when I did use something, I usually used it a little bit and I've already found my favorite products, what I like better. So I stopped those subscriptions. Instead, I get subscriptions that I really like. My personal favorite is book subscriptions for my kids because we actually use those. I used to buy glitter for my kids to use with their crafts, but here's the deal. It's really messy. It gets everywhere. It's very hard to get out, so I stopped buying it. I love having beautiful polished nails. So I used to buy lots of nail polish and I was constantly trying new polishes to see if there were some that would last longer because that was my big problem. I'd paint my nails and by 15 hours later, they were already chipping. I can't stand chipped nails. So I would just buy a new nail polish, when somebody would recommend, hey, this one lasts 5 days, I would believe them and I would try it. Well, here's the deal. My nails are just not like everyone else's. This stuff doesn't stay on my nails. I could buy every nail polish under the sun. It's not gonna make a difference. So instead of spending all this money on nail polish, having to store it, having a lot that I didn't like, I stopped that. And if I want to get my nails done, I actually go to the salon and pay for dip nails that are going to stay on for 3 weeks. And I think I'm literally saving money this way, even though one visit to the salon costs a decent amount. So one thing I've gone through a lot of in my life is purses. I carry a purse everywhere. I want one that's really functional. I want one that's cute. And I used to go buy whatever purse was on sale and I would go through maybe 2 or 3 in a year. And first of all, this was annoying because some of them just didn't function the way I wanted them to. And for me, function is really important. I want to be able to pull out my wallet in just a second. I want to easily get to my phone. There are things I need to get to in there. And if I'm constantly changing styles, that can be a pain. Also, some of the cheaper ones just didn't last as long. Some of the fabric ones would start looking really dirty really quickly. Some things actually broke on them. So I finally decided it might be worth it to invest in a slightly nicer purse. And this has paid off hugely. I've used the same purse now for 2 or 3 years. I absolutely love it. It's not dirty. I get tons of compliments on it and I can find exactly what I need. And if I want another one, I'm just gonna go buy the same one that has all the same pockets and compartments that I love, and I'm not gonna need a whole bunch. Even though it's tempting because I wanna buy every cute picture of my kids, I do not buy school pictures. It is simply not necessary. I have tons of pictures of them on my phone, and most of them are actually better than the school pictures, so we just don't buy them. When I am going out to eat, one thing I don't buy is drinks at meals. I just always get water. 98% of the time, if you're dining somewhere, water is free. And I find that I don't even enjoy soft drinks or lemonade as much with my meal. I'm focused on my meal. So I just don't buy them. And if you multiply this out over a whole family, this saves a lot of money. When I'm traveling and visiting new places, I don't buy a bunch of souvenirs. I have found that this is something that these just literally gather dust. They can be mismatched. There's no good place to put them. You always think on the trip that it's going to mean more to you than it really does. So what I've done instead is I limit myself to one type of souvenir. If I go somewhere and we want a souvenir, I buy playing cards. And we started this on our honeymoon. We bought playing cards and now that's what we buy because we can actually use them. They're small. We'll add them to our playing card collection and it won't just gather dust. A huge money saver for me is not buying extended warranties. Anytime I buy electronics at the store, they're always asking about the extended warranty. Even on Amazon, when I buy a memory card, it's do you want to pay $4 for an extended warranty? And I just avoid these because if you self-insure, 99% of the time, you're going to come out ahead. This is probably pretty particular to me, but I never buy coffee tables, like those tables that are in the middle of the living room. I just highly prefer the wide open space. It makes it feel less cluttered. A lot of times coffee tables truly are just a catch-all for stuff. I do have a side table beside my couch in case you want to like set a drink or something like that. I also feel like kids are constantly getting hurt on them, so I just avoid them. I have not bought a physical book for myself in years. I have found that they can be expensive, and then what do you do when you're done reading them? I don't reread them a lot, and I find it easier and I have access to more books if I just read them digitally. So either on my phone or my iPad, I have Kindle that I can buy books. You can buy almost anything on there. I also have Audible and audiobooks, and then I use the app Hoopla. There's another similar one called Libby, which through your local library, you can usually get access to them completely free. So I listen to a bunch of audiobooks and even read like the digital version on my phone or iPad completely free. So I'm saving both money and clutter. Now I should note this does not apply to kids' books. I still do have physical books for me and my kids to read. Now I admire homes that have lots of plants inside, either fake or real. I think it looks homey and I just love the greenery, but I had to come to the conclusion that they were not for me because I don't really have a green thumb. I don't know what I'm doing with plants. Watering them stresses me out. I have to worry about if they're going to die. We don't have a lot of, I don't know where to put them. So that's why I don't get the live plants. And then I, once upon a time, thought that I wanted fake plants, which sounded like a good idea. However, have you tried to shop for them? I shopped all around. I went all around locally. I didn't really want to buy online because I wanted to see it, and they all looked totally fake to me, which maybe a fake plant is supposed to look fake. I don't know. But none of them looked right to me, and so I finally just gave up and decided I am not going to be a house with plants. Now I don't have to stress about it. I don't have to spend money on it. I don't have to buy one that I don't like and then get rid of it. I love visiting other people's pets and snuggling with a little puppy or a doggy, bunnies, all those kind of things. Love going to zoos, but pets and pet stuff is something that we don't have in our home because it saves so much time, money, and stress. We don't have vet bills. We don't have to buy them food. We don't have them making messes anywhere. We don't have to stress when we go somewhere of coming home and taking care of the animal. So for our household, we've just decided we are an animal-free household, and making that decision once has freed up a lot of time and money for us. For many years, I paid a monthly fee for a gym membership, and I actually did use it, but I have found that I much prefer having my gym equipment at home. It was actually the pandemic that, I was going to a gym regularly, then I couldn't go. So I bought myself a bike and I absolutely love it. Now I have even fewer excuses. I don't have to go anywhere. I can just go get on the bike. Even if my kids are here and I don't have a babysitter, fine. I can just get on, they're here, and I've been far more consistent. I also have found that the bike cost, I believe when I bought it, was $800 or $900 up front, but that's years of no gym membership. It hasn't needed any maintenance or anything like that. I'm sure someday it will, so it's actually saved money, time from going to the gym, and I've found that I've been very consistent with it. This is one for all of my fellow crafters out there, and if you're anything like me, you love crafts and they require supplies. Like, you can't make a craft without stuff. And a lot of them require a lot of stuff. Oh, and there are lots of options. Like, I like decorative crafts. I like chalk couture. I like Stampin' Up. I like making cards. I have a Cricut and a silhouette, and I like all those things. And like, the list just goes on. And you go down the aisles of Hobby Lobby and Joann's, and you're like, oh, all this wonderful stuff. And I used to be someone who collected all of these materials because I didn't want to be in a position where I wanted to make a craft and I didn't have what I needed. That sounded terrible. But what ended up happening is I would just kind of collect materials, wouldn't know what project they were for, especially if they're on sale. That's tempting now. Let me tell you a little secret about the craft stores. You probably know this if you're a crafter. Things are on sale every other week, so it's not like you have one chance to get it on sale. It'll be on sale again, so don't worry about that. And then I would not even be able to find what I needed when I wanted it. And then most of the time when I find a project I want to make, I want something really specific, especially with all the online tutorials these days. I personally am someone who wants to use exactly what they used because I want my project to turn out. Like, what if I don't use the right texture of cardstock? Maybe it won't fold the way theirs did. So I found that I would rather spend a little bit more money and get the exact items that I want rather than just collecting tons of paper and ribbons. So I've moved more to the model of buying craft supplies for a project that I'm actually going to make. That way I buy them, I use them up, I don't have to store them, I have exactly what I need, and that is working out far better for me. This has been a rule of mine for a very long time, and that is I do not buy clothing that I couldn't wear today, that like doesn't fit me today. I don't buy the, well, when I lose 5 pounds, or if it were like this. If I couldn't wear it today, I don't buy it. I have been very guilty of this one, and that is buying what I call aspirational food. You might be like, what on earth is that? So, you want to get healthy, that's good. You want to eat more greens, that's good too. So then you go to Costco and you buy this like huge 4-pound tub of spinach when you're the only one in your household who eats it. And on day 3 of eating spinach for breakfast, dinner, and lunch, you finally realize, I am not going to eat all of this in the 4 days before it goes bad, and you throw it out. This happens a lot. Or you start a new lifestyle way of eating or a new diet, and so you buy all the things they tell you to buy, but you find out I didn't really like that, or this sweetener actually does not agree with me at all. So I try to slow down on the food that I am buying not because I really like it, but because this is what I wish I ate. And instead, I still think that's a worthy cause, and if you want to eat healthier, you should, but you don't need to buy the Costco-sized bins. Buy a little bit at a time, see if you like it, get it incorporated into your lifestyle before you go buying huge amounts. When I was in high school, I scrapbooked fairly regularly, and I thought that was something I was going to continue to do for years to come. And so, of course, I buy the stuff, I buy the baby books. Side note, my daughter is 8, almost 9. She has no baby book at all. And so, yeah, I didn't do this. So I got rid of it, and I have stopped buying it because I realized I am just not someone who enjoys putting together the pictures and the memories as much as some people do. And I really much prefer to do it digitally. So I can do it on my phone, on my computer. There's no mess. I hate handwriting. I much prefer to type. So we're gonna get her baby book sooner, not soon, but sooner by me doing it digitally than we would if I tried to scrapbook it. Last year, I stopped buying Christmas presents for my family, for my husband and my kids. We just realized that we were buying Christmas gifts just because, well, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Our kids didn't even need them. They have everything they need, and don't worry, they are not deprived. Not only are they literally have all their needs met, of course, but also they're not deprived of getting just new stuff for fun. We do lots of experiences. We buy them stuff kind of year-round when they need it. Like, I'm not gonna wait until December 25th to give them their winter coat when it is 18 degrees outside on December 2nd. When they need new clothes, when they need new shoes. We buy them toys a lot of times just for fun. So they had plenty, and I didn't want to wait and give them all of their gifts at Christmas time. I kind of wanted to parse them out and enjoy them more. I think they're more enjoyed that way. And we decided just because everyone else does it doesn't mean we have to. I also just didn't like Christmas being all about the gifts. And it's hard because, kids love gifts. There's nothing wrong with that. But then it became all about the gifts and what am I going to get? And, I want to play with my toys. Instead, we created an experience. We just stayed at home. We made food. We played tons and tons of games. And we had a blast together as a family instead of giving a bunch of stuff. I think it's pretty safe to assume if you've watched this far that you're not a fan of clutter and you want some decluttering inspiration. So I highly recommend that you go and watch my entire decluttering playlist. Next, I'm going to give you lots of tips and advice and inspiration and real life examples of decluttering.